Hi, my name is Mandie Kolkman, and I am the Artistic Director at the Fort Wayne Dance Collective. As the Artistic Director, it is my job to provide my artistic vision for our diverse programs. Those programs are Dance for Community, Dance for Disabilities, Dance for Health, and Dance in Education. I also provide artistic vision for our public performances, and we have about 4 to 6 public performances a year. We also have private performances where I am able to provide my support, and those private performances may consist of performances within our outreach programs or private bookings. We have 2 professional companies. One is called Fort Wayne Taiko, and taiko is the Japanese word for drum. So we actually work with professional drummers, which is really cool. And we also have professional dancers, and that is our FWDC touring company. And we have a pre-professional company that feeds into that professional dance company. It's a youth company called the Pineapple Dance Project. And we have classes at a downtown location. And I also have to provide my artistic vision as well as my dance education and knowledge of the different techniques behind many of the dance forms that we offer for that on-site school. So a typical day for me might be that I come into the office and take care of some emails or anything that is considered urgent. And I do have a lot of emails, and that is because we have many different subcontracted artists that work with us in order for us to serve all of those different outreach programs as well as our on-site school. And I want to make sure that they feel supported in the daily work that they do. We are constantly out and about in the community, so I just want to make sure that everybody has the tools to be able to do the best job that they can. And I also want to make sure by answering emails or phone calls that I am answering the questions of the sites that we serve, because as I mentioned, we are out and about a lot and we serve many different areas, schools, hospitals, service agencies, and I want to make sure that all of our programs are running smoothly. After I answer some emails, I might have to teach a class, which is really fun for me. I do love being in the office, but I also love teaching because that is first and foremost what I am. I am an artist, so I love sharing my knowledge. And so I might teach within the schools, or I might teach on site at our classes downtown. After I teach or answer some phone calls, I might pick a really big project to work on. Also under my plate is marketing. So I might have a big marketing project that I need to work on, or maybe we have an upcoming show and I need to create a tech schedule or rehearsal schedule and get out all of the communication based on that. Or we might have a grant due and I have to provide some vision or ideas, or if it's a grant that is already passed and we're doing a final grant report, I might say how artistically we were able to use a grant this past year. So I give feedback on that. Or I might have to attend a meeting. I do love meeting with the people that we serve as well as others in the community for potential collaborations. So that's a quick look at what a day might be for me. When I was in middle or high school, and I was imagining what my career might be growing up, or when I was growing up, I didn't necessarily know that the job that I have now existed. So within middle school and high school, I knew I wanted to be in front of people and that I enjoyed talking and performing. And so I was actually in a broadcasting club or class, and I did that every morning and broadcasted our news. But I was taking about 20 hours of dance a week, which seems like a lot, but if you're going to do something like what I do professionally, it is what is needed. If you are already studying the arts, you understand that a lot of work outside of school needs to be done. So I was setting myself up well to have the career that I do have now. And in college, I studied arts administration, which is basically the study of nonprofits. And so that started opening up my eyes to the fact that I could potentially do all of the things that I love wrapped up into one, which is the marketing and being in front of people and communicating with my voice, but also performing in my art form, which is dance. And so not talking, but doing and performing and dancing, and also combining my love for creating and choreographing. So I did find a job where I could do everything, but it did take a little bit of time. As I mentioned, that it did take a little bit of time for me to find my job now that I love so much, I did have several jobs prior to this one. Some other things that I did right after college, with the understanding that I loved marketing and having a face and communicating with people, I did work for a sports agency in Indianapolis. It was really cool. I got to create marketing plans for NFL players and for Honda IndyCar racing. So that was really neat, and I enjoyed that very, very much. And then when I moved to Fort Wayne, I started getting into events because I knew that I did love the performance side of hospitality and being able to provide an event but having live entertainment. So I worked with musicians and dancers often and created themed events for a location called the Fillmore on Broadway. It's a historical theater downtown. So those are some of the things that I did. And I also worked with the organization I work with now, Fort Wayne Dance Collective, as an artist and taught in many of the different outreach programs that I had mentioned earlier. And then I slowly worked my way up to being into the position where I am now. I got hired from my first job at US Sports Advisors, which was the company that is the sports agency, by connections from college. And so I would recommend to anyone out there to really utilize your connections upon graduating. Another question was anything that I learned from my first job being positive or negative. I would always say to be as respectful as possible because you never know what you can learn from other people. And I'm still finding that now in my position. As I work with so many different artists, I'm finding that I am learning so much. So no matter what your position is, always be respectful to those around you and see what you can learn from them. And the last question that I will cover is advice to my younger self. And so any advice that I would give to my younger self is that the doors for opportunity are truly always open and that you just have to look for them. And so something that I wish I would have done more as a younger Mandie would be to daydream more and picture what my perfect job, my perfect next project, what all of that looks like in an ideal world, and see if it's either a reality currently that I could pursue, or B, something that I could create. So that is some advice that I would give to a younger Mandie and that I'm giving to you guys today. And those are a lot of the questions that I wanted to cover with you guys. And if you ever have any more additional things that you'd like to ask me, please feel free to reach out. You can find my information at Fort Wayne Dance Collective. Our URL is just F as in Fort, WDCFWDC.org. And you can find me there and ask me any questions. Thank you so much.